I met Jenny Fuston. She and her husband lived here in Noblesville, and so she started a prayer group in their home. And we met on, I believe it was Sunday afternoons. And fortunately for us, Ralph and Grace Leonard started coming over here to church, or to the prayer group, and was a big factor in the church starting. Noblesville wasn't as large then as it is now, but I think everybody could see the potential that would be. First summer or two, we had a vacation Bible school in the park, and that was and it was very successful. I think we pretty much always stated the biblical principles, things that we should do, and the church was founded on that here, and I think that we really basically have stayed with that. Here I am today, after all these years, and it's just a blessing to be here.
When we met at Forest Hill, of course it was a big gym. We had Sunday school first, and I remember they pulled the tables out for the kids around. They were the lunch tables, and so they pulled those out for Sunday school classes for the kids. We were growing, and you saw these people coming to Christ and being baptized and all that, and it just thrilled my heart. As the years passed, it was just exciting and overwhelming to me how you could start a church like this and how we grew. I had this vision of God always being up in the sky, and I was beginning to learn how He was here with us, and that was just that I was being fulfilled more and more all the time. Just seeing something like this happen over the 50 years it's just been exciting, and I see God working, and only God would have known how all this could have happened.
When we came here, had a big gravel driveway around the first original building, and the first test of the church. The city told us, they sent out an ordinance, we have to, and it's a mandate or whatever, we have to pave the parking lot within a certain amount of time. And lo and behold, we had to come up with $10,000. And back then, with 30 or 40 people, but we did it. By the grace of God, we were able to do that because we had to, and that was the first big test, I think, of the church. Back then, with such a small amount of people, everybody did everything, and we were all thoroughly invested. Carol was saying earlier that we were some weeks we were here every night. I mean, we had to do the cleaning, we did the lawn mowing, we did all the maintenance, communion, and we all just took turns doing it. All of us had young kids, except for Ralph and Grace Leonard. And so we had some wisdom of the ages, but we were all young and energetic back then, and we were thoroughly invested in doing the work of the church.
The part where the gym and the sanctuary is now, we didn't own that property because the lady that owned it wouldn't sell it to us. So we were thankful when she finally decided it was okay.
And it was a little girl.
The little girl in the church said, "Why won't you sell that property to our church?"
It was a neighbor, I think.
And
that prompted her?
It prompted her to do it. She wasn't going to until a little girl said something. It's kind of sweet.
White River Christian Church did not used to be called White River Christian Church. I don't know if you knew this or not, but it used to be White River Church of Christ. We went through a time when a church on the south side of Indianapolis was also White River Church of Christ. And we'd get their mail occasionally and stuff. And so then come the time that they said, "Hey, you need to change your name because we were here first." We're not too sure about that, but we decided, okay, we will change the name. Now you talk about something that will get people's attention. You try to change the name of a church. That's how the name went from White River Church of Christ to White River Christian Church.
I was one of the first elders with Ralph Leonard, which some people would remember that name, and also Charles Starkey. And so I believe we became an eldership maybe in early 77. It could have been before, but we had a steering committee before that. And so we waited until everything was right to have an eldership. And so when we went into the eldership, it was amazing. It was almost scary because the congregation was so supportive and trusting of what we did, which put even additional burden on the eldership in trying to make sure everything was right. But it was worth every minute.
And being the wife of an elder, it's so important to pray for your elders because they go through things that no one else in the church know about. And it's so important to really pray for their strength and their ability to work with those things.
It was just amazing the unity there was in the church.
Yeah.
I mean, with a common goal and the unity, there was I don't remember any internal conflicts, which is kind of strange for a church, especially starting up and different opinions. What color is the carpet going to be? What color is the paint going to be? We didn't have those issues. I think it was really exciting because everybody had the same objective.
Yeah.
And when we all come together as a unit, working towards a single goal, and staying with the truth. Of course, God's word is the truth, the only truth, and everybody believed that. So that was just so exciting. Even after we built the first building, I was in here by myself one Saturday evening, and I was doing some sanding, trying to remove some tile. And I stopped, I don't know, maybe 10 o'clock at night or something. And when I finished, I happened to look out and the chairs were totally covered with dust. And so, and I had to spend probably 3 hours cleaning all the chairs that night.
It's been great to be a part of the heritage, kind of the heritage of what White River is about, and to see it kind of from the very beginning and to what it is today. And you know, we hope that it changes with the times, but the message doesn't change. Those tenets of the truth, the basic, elements of the truth of Christ and the reality of heaven do not change. The way you bring the message can change. The method, the music can change. That's a big change too. I was leading out of the hymn book back in the old days, and of course today, but the truths do not change. The truths of God never change.
I would say if they can stay with the truth as it is today and have it 50 years from now, it's going to be great.
I had no idea what kind of an adventure we were going to be on because we were so small there at first, and little by little, you're growing. But I remember walking into the auditorium that we have now when they were building it with my son, and I said, "Can you believe this is really happening?" And there wasn't anything in there. I think there was still dirt floors, but it was mammoth in there, and I thought, I would have never, ever dreamed of anything like this.
We've always been a charitable church, even pretty much, I think, from the beginning, and cared about people. And I think that today it still goes on. They're still good at that, especially with our food pantry. I think that was one of the wonderful things that the church started.
We wanted to have VBS like all the other churches. I helped with teaching the little ones at that time. And one of the exciting things that happened is one of those little girls that was in my class, I still had the sheet where the stars were on for their attendance and stuff, and she started coming here. And as an adult, her and her husband and child. And we reminisced over that. That was just so exciting to see her grow and get involved in the church.